Welcome back to the channel. Racer X here, and today I thought I would put a quick video together for you guys about an announcement that just came down this morning from Ram. Their badass street truck is making a return. We have quite a few of the specs. Today we'll talk all about it. If you guys are brand new to the channel, do me a big gigantic favor. Hit that subscribe button. You can find it right over here. And off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Today I'm back with my buddies at the Dream Giveaway Garage to show you their classic Mopar giveaway. Take a look at these two monsters right behind me. If you guys love classic Mopars, you will love this giveaway because they're both being given away in the same drawing. Let's take a look. Here you have a 1969.5 Plymouth Roadrunner with a 440 cubic inch V8 under the hood. I love the two-tone paint. Take a look at those wheels. Classic old school Mopar. And take a look at the hemi right here. Sublime green and black. Absolutely beautiful car. Both of these, 1970. It is amazing to think how old these two cars are and just how good looking they are. So if you love old school Mopars, don't miss out on your chance to own both of these two beautiful cars. Go to Dream Giveaway's website, enter my code RACERX because you get not 3 but 4X entries. That's new for this year just by using my code. Yes, it works on all of their giveaways, so you can also check out all the other amazing stuff they have there. But man, look at these two things. They are absolutely beautiful, and I will pin a link in the comments to make it really easy to find. I can't wait to see who wins. Now that Tim Kuniskis is fully back in the fold at Stellantis, we know that he's over Direct Connection now. He's over all 4 of the North American brands, i.e. Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, and Ram. One of the first things he did was revive SRT that was killed off a little while back. And if you are a performance enthusiast like me, you realize that is really good news. SRT means Street Racing and Technology Division, kind of the skunk works within Mopar that gave us some of our favorite performance offerings out there. And I thought within 6 to 18 months, we would see a lot of really cool stuff come down. Today is the first of those announcements. Ram and Direct Connection are partnering with Fox Factory. Now, Fox is probably best known for their shocks, at least in my mind. Anytime you see a really badass off-road truck, if you look under there, a lot of times they're running Fox shocks. But Fox does a lot of other things besides shocks. I mean, they do full upfits on trucks. They have like a whole performance division that they do. They work with Chevy. They work with Ford. They kind of have the same sort of packages like you would see on like a Rocky Ridge, maybe a Black Widow. But now they are putting out the DC 650. That is this new announcement. And it is a street style truck. A lot of you guys might have remembered the SRT-10 Viper truck back in like, 04, early 2000s. And that truck was really badass. And it wasn't some off-road high lifted truck. It is more meant for the street. And it's a lot of power, a completely different type of truck. And that's what this truck is. And I think that is really, really cool because you have a lot of people out there that want to do the big, high lifted off-road style. And while they look amazing, don't get me wrong, nobody is putting out like that street style truck. I mean, even like the Ranger Raptor, which I think is really cool. I fully expect we will see a series of street style trucks like this with more power that are very, very unique. This kind of gives Mopar a little bit of an edge because there's not a lot out there like this. Now, I want to give you a quick rundown of what comes on the DC 650 package. I've got it all written down right here. First off, we know 650 horsepower. We're talking crank horsepower and not wheel horsepower, but that is pretty stout. It's going to have a 5.7 Hemi. I know that's going to excite a lot of people. And then, of course, it's also going to have a Whipple supercharger on it. Now, when I called Direct Connection earlier today, I didn't really get any answers in terms of how big the supercharger is. But we know that the 5.7 Hemi typically is right around 400 horsepower. I think 395 is what it was in the 2023 car. But if we're going to go from basically 400 horsepower to 650 horsepower, that's a 250 horsepower jump. That is a lot. And we know the 5.7 Hemi doesn't really like boost all that well. I think traditional wisdom would tell you around 7 pounds, and that engine is not going to be too happy if you go much above that. However, making an additional 250 horsepower out of 7 pounds of boost is not going to happen. So in my mind, they may have some beefed up internals on this 5.7 Hemi as well, but they didn't say anything about it in the release. Certainly I would hope that this would have beefed up internals in it so that it would stand up to the rigors of all of that boost. And like I said, anybody that's ever supercharged a 5.7 Hemi knows that you gotta keep your boost relatively low if you want it to live for a long period of time. Now this will come with a 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty. It's not as good as what Ram is offering on their regular 2026 trucks. So keep that in mind. I mean, they went up to a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty on the powertrain. That's something that Tim Kuniskis did right away when he came into the fold at Ram. But you still do get a warranty with this, which is pretty sweet. You also get 6 different colors to choose from with gold accents. So all of the colors, no matter which one of the 6 you pick, will have the gold accents. For $1,000, you can add the custom leather seats from Direct Connection, which look fantastic, by the way. They showed a picture of those, and they look really good. $1,000, that's basically a no-brainer in terms of how it would make the interior of the vehicle look. It also comes with the 8-speed auto. They didn't say whether or not this is a beefed up 8-speed auto. I have to assume that it is, because also, like with the 5.7 and the 6.4, we know that those things are only happy up to a certain horsepower level. So I'm really hoping that we get beefed up internals on the engine and a beefed up drivetrain to include the transmission, the axles, the drive shaft, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, 250 horsepower is quite a bit. And they've done some other things to really make this truck handle well. You're talking 22-inch black alloys on this truck. It is going to have a fantastic stance. You can see it there in the pictures. It's going to come with 305s on all 4 corners. It is still going to tow 11,320 pounds. So you really don't lose any of that when you go to this this street truck look. And I really like that. So you're going to keep that functionality there. You get a larger grille in the front. You get a front and rear splitter, which look fantastic. Once again, this thing is full kind of street trim mode, and I really do like that. You get a performance exhaust. They don't say it there kind of on the website, but it is from Magnaflow, and I know Magnaflow did a lot of research on this, and I guarantee you it's going to sound fantastic. You guys know I ride with Magnaflow pretty much on all of my builds, and all of my cars sound great, so I know Magnaflow did their homework on this performance exhaust, so I fully expect it to sound good. They say it does not drone. It comes with dual 4-inch black tips on it, which is fantastic. Basically just like I had my Rebel done back in the day. The Rebel that I had, my red run, I didn't really put it on the channel much, but it had the 5.7 with a Magnaflow exhaust, 4-inch tips, and boy did it sound good. I love that truck. It also will have a high-rise hood that says Supercharged on it. And also it will have vents in the hood to go ahead and get some of that heat out from under the hood. So I do think all of those things are going to look really, really nice on this truck. Here's another big thing. It's going to come with Ride Tech Performance coilovers, which are going to reduce the ride height by 3 inches in the front and 5.5 inches in the back to give it a really wicked stance. And boy, like I said, when I looked at the pictures of it, I was really, really a big fan of this. You're going to get tubular control arms, and also you get traction bars so that it won't wheel hop. So they've done a lot of things to make this truck really fast in a complete package. So then that begs the question, how much does the thing cost? Well, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it is not cheap. You can actually spec one of these out on Ram's website, which I did, and there are really only a couple of things you can change. You can pick one of the 6 colors. You can change it from 2-wheel to 4-wheel drive, and I think it's a little over $4,000 for that option. And then you can add the seats. The leather seats for $1,000, which in my mind is a no-brainer because it really does look nice in that truck. Now, whether you would need the 2-wheel drive or the 4-wheel drive, that is really up to you, maybe where you live, what you're going to use the truck for, all that kind of stuff. So you can actually hike this thing up into like the mid-90s. The one that I spec'd out was right around $90,000. And when I say spec'd out, all that means is I went to the website and just kind of picked my color, picked the leather seats, and basically I was done with it. There's only one engine for it. It's the 5.7 Hemi. You cannot get a 6.4. You can't get a Hurricane. I mean, it's kind of done basically one way. They have to streamline it to some degree, but at least it gives you a little bit of customizability. But $90,000. I mean, if you really start to think about that, yes, you can go out and buy an RHO, which is more of a Baja style truck, basically a baby TRX, if you will, even though it's the same size. And you can buy one of those for, we'll say 80 grand, right? I mean, brand new. Some of the used RHOs out there, you can find them for like low 70s. You can find a used TRX that's multiple years old, probably for somewhere around the same price with 702 horsepower instead of 650. But like I said, these are Baja style off-road type trucks. This is more of a street truck. It is a very unique type truck. And I personally think it is pretty darn cool. Now, is $90,000 too much for this? If you're basically just taking a 5.7 and throwing a supercharger on it and throwing some suspension work at it and some other little goodies, it's really up to you. I mean, you can look at it and say, well, that's a huge ripoff because I can do all that stuff myself. And maybe, but it would be a lot of work to do all of the stuff they're doing to this thing by yourself. Plus, you're going to have a warranty, right? I mean, a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty. So, you know, trucks are expensive. I mean, there's no getting around it. It's a lot of money, but you're also going to get a really special, very unique truck, really cool wheels. It's going to sound amazing, and it's going to have a warranty. If you're and ordering one of these DC 650 street trucks, you can call up your local dealership and they should be able to get one on order for you. It's really going to depend on the dealership in terms of how much down they're going to want. I know certain dealerships are probably going to be marking these up, which I think absolutely sucks. We've talked about that at length so many times in the past. My dealership, I don't think they're going to be doing any sort of markups on these. And when I called them earlier today, they said they could probably get a hold of as many of these as they wanted to, but we don't really have an idea of build time, right? So from the time you put your order in until the time the truck actually shows up, who knows what that time frame will actually be, but it will be a really cool offering. Now, there are two schools of thought when it comes to this truck, and I will kind of put my little Racer X spin on this. One is it's going to come out amazing right from the factory. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. And there's some validity to that thinking, right? I mean, it comes with the warranty for a reason. Of course, the Racer X thought process is, well, if it comes with a beefed up drivetrain, a beefed up transmission, and also beefed up internals on the engine, imagine the potential of something like that. And yeah, it probably is worth 90 grand if you could make a badass 900 horsepower street truck by just pulling that Whipple down and just making it awesome, right? Throw a little bit of fuel at it, do some very simple things, just like I did with my Hellcat Excessive to make it 1,000 horsepower. You know, this isn't as big a displacement at 5.7, but you could still make it really, really cool. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see what information comes out on how they built this truck. I mean, did they actually do more to that hemi to support more power? That's what I want to know. But I guess, guys, really, it's up to you. Will it be cool? Absolutely. I'm so stoked that Tim Kuniskis is getting in there and starting to give us some different things that we performance enthusiasts can get behind. Let me know what you guys think about this truck in the comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.